Hi, I'm Regan Aliyah.
And I'm Ryan Asher.
And we are RYBE. And we are on
Front Row Live.
Period.
What's up, guys? Rob here, Front Row Live Entertainment. I'm hanging out here in the studio with RYBE. I'm so excited to be sitting here with you, ladies. How's it going?
Good.
I'm excited to be here, too.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations with the new single.
Thank you.
Hot is definitely, the title says it all.
Hot.
I dig it. It's super catchy. It's living in here.
Period.
And I feel like that was something, obviously, that you guys wanted to do.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Let's dive in and talk about that creative process and like, what's that chemistry like between the two of you when you guys are writing, or when you guys were writing this song?
Yeah, I think Hot was created last year, like last October.
Around then.
It's really simple, honestly, to work with her. I think that, like, as siblings, a lot of time people are like, do you guys fight? Do you this? It's, like, hard in the studio. But we were really blessed to be, like, the type that, like, get along.
Yeah,
we literally
so
just
well.
get along. So I think the way that I refer to you now is like more like how people perceive twins than they do like sibling relationships, of like we have a lot of the same thoughts before we say it, or like I'll be like, Ryan's about to say blah blah blah, and then she says blah blah blah. So it's like I think writing music, I kind of know what you're gonna want to say or know what you won't say too. So when we like write back and forth, it's like simple. I think.
And we've been like doing music since we were super young, so it's kind of just easy for us to bounce off ideas just because we already know what we kind of want and have an idea of what we want. So it's just been super easy, super simple, and we've been blessed to have a team that works with us that gets our ideas as well. So it's just very easy to have everything come together.
That's good. And the fact that you have been working together in the music side definitely says a lot, because it's usually hard. It's either like you're going to clash or you're going to have too much fun together, right?
It does happen. It does happen.
We come from girl groups and everything, and now my head's always like, I will work with my sibling. Like, I can do that, you know? And there's so many, like, sibling pairs that we see success in, you know, even if it's just one in the group, like Billie Eilish and her brother. They make all her music together, and it's such a, like, every time I see things of them, I'm like, I relate to that so much, of like, you get each other, you connect, you know,
the
voices
sibling
blend
bond
easier, you know. So I think it's fun. I like it.
Super fun.
What was it like, you know, that first moment you started collaborating as this group, and, you know, kind of figuring out like where your voices kind of fit, and, you know, who was gonna take the reins here, who's gonna do leads and backups, and you know, the stuff that we listen to on music, but we don't really get to experience as like listeners.
Well, it was all kind of like a full circle moment, because we were in a duo. We did it some years ago.
We were like 17, 18.
Yeah, it's like 17, 18. We were just a duo. Then we took a break. We kind of did our own thing. She did a little bit of solo. I did a little bit of solo. Went to college and everything like that. Then we decided, hey, we're good at this together. Why not do it again? So now we're back in like a full circle moment, and making our music again together. So it's been very, very easy and very fun to just do it together again.
It was a lot of times, even when I was like, when we went our separate ways from being kids. And when you're kids, you're not fully in control of everything. So it'd be times we'd make music and I'd be like, and then she would be like, this doesn't fit my voice. Like, it was not merging in the way that we wanted, and that's just because too many cooks in the kitchen. You're young, you can't make your own decisions. So the time apart was really cool, because we grew into who we wanted to be and who we are as you know, just women, you know. So coming back together and doing our own separate stuff, I would always be like, hey Ryan, can you sing on this? Like, I'm a singer, can
we
you
never
do this?
stopped
like,
working
so
together.
even when I was like throwing out a random single while filming a show or something like that, Ryan was always on it anyway. So I was like, I can't imagine being on tour or something and not having her there. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, when you have a sibling that's so talented, why wouldn't you just do this with them in the right way, you know? So I think it's been really like healing to come back, have control over what you want to sound like, what you want to look like, the whole entire vision, and really molding it to like what's in here, and you know, and we've aligned in what's in here, and it's finally clicked. That I think it's like really, really like it's just healing, very healing. And it's like now we're in the phase, because of that, it's the people that get it will get it, you know. And we feel, since we are so connected on what the branding is and what we want to sound like, I'm not really even worried about numbers around it right now, because I'm like, I feel I think it was Tyler the Creator. He was like, just put out your art.
Yeah.
And the people that are meant to hear this and meant to be there will be there. And
Yeah.
I feel so like 100% in what we're doing that I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, this could have 500 views or 500,000 views and I feel good.
Yeah,
like
we're
I
very
feel
secure
so
in it.
good right
No,
now.
and it's great. Like I said, it's like stuck in my head, and it's like I'm obviously a lot older than you guys, but it's like you're resonating to all ages, right? Like, and I feel like that's the beauty of music, that even if a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old writes the song, it could resonate to the entire world.
Yeah.
And that's what this track, I feel like, is doing.
Thank
When it comes to the songwriting, what was that process like, kind of learning to write together?
What's very different for her, I think it comes off very easily. Since she's a rapper, she just got it quick. So I have to be like, oh, I gotta pull up sometimes. I gotta pull up. But it's very easy. And then we also have other team that helps as well. But it's very easy to bounce back ideas. And since she's very good at like top lines, I'm very good at melodies. It's just easy to kind of just go back and forth and just see what fits where.
Yeah, I think we have a good combination of things, because there's so many times where I'm like, girl, I can't sing, so I'm gonna give you this, it needs to be here, but I don't know exactly where it needs to be.
And I'm like,
and
it
then she'll
needs
be
to
like,
be there.
and she's like, okay, I'm following along, and she'll know how to like actually bring that to life, which helps me, because there's so many times where I feel like I hear it as soon as you play a thing, I hear it, but it's like, I don't have this. I can give you the lines, and I can be like, I need to say da 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 da, but now I'm like, the melody, I'm like going like this with my fingers of like, this is how it needs to be. And I feel like really grateful that she gets what I'm saying through that. Like she can go through all the whatever notes and be like, oh, okay. But also you just being more, as time goes, being more and more confident in songwriting. I think that she's an amazing songwriter. I think she just felt like, since I was a rapper and I could easily just be like, here's a verse, that it's like, oh, this is a little bit scary, but like, she'll sit there and like write full songs, and I'll walk in and I'll be like, well, why aren't we using that? Like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? That's great, you know? And so I think like your confidence in it is like really, really showing in this wave of what RYBE is now. And it's a good combination.
What about finding your voices? I mean, you have beautiful vocals.
Thank
so,
you.
you know, were you classically trained? Like, is this something that you kind of discovered as the two of you just kept dabbling in music?
Well, I feel like we always knew that we wanted to do music. We're the fourth generation in the music industry, so we just grew up hearing music, listening to music all the time. It just kind of came naturally. All our family sings. It just fell into it, being like, oh, I'm kind of good at this. We can do that. So as we merged into like different girl groups, we just were able to fall into a different place in a group to kind of mold where we are now, to break out and be like, oh, I'm more confident in doing this, I'm more confident in doing that. She found her place as a rapper, very talented, very good at it. And I found myself as the singer, just worked that way. So it's just been very good to have that different type of combo.
Yeah, coming from a musical family always helps, you know? Like, we heard our grandma singing all the time. She can also like go and hop on the congas and then some drums and then play a little guitar. Like, they all play instruments and all of this, so we grew up hearing it. Blessing and a curse at times. Sometimes I'd be singing along and they'd be like, that's not the move. Like, wait, dang, like, I'm 12. Can't I just have a little fun, you know? But at a young age, we obviously knew like, oh, Ryan can sing, you know? I knew in elementary school, I would be like, oh, you think you're a singer? Battle my sister. And she would battle other singers. And like, they would be like, you should have sang this song, or you should have done that, you know? So like, I would always be like, go, sing, do it. And for me, I knew that like, I loved music, but it was hard for me at first to figure out what that meant for me, because everyone in my family, they're singers. And the music they listen to is like this soulful music and all of this. And I'm like, as much as I love this and this shaped who I am, I don't want to do that, you know? And so I think discovering Lauryn Hill and really, really diving into who she was really, really helped me figure out like, oh, the other world of this is like, I could be a rapper and I can still give people the same feeling that these songs are giving people, because it could be about so many different things, you know? So like, I'm really thankful for like the Lauryn Hills, the Left Eyes, the Queen Latifahs, like all of these people who shaped my cadence, shaped my, you know, voice in this world of what I wanted to talk about, like from the deep things like Lauryn, but then also having a good time like Missy Elliott and Left Eye and all of these people, where it's like, all of that and finding the voice of who I wanted to be as a rapper is because of them, you know? And thankful my family had good taste in music so that I could hear that kind of stuff as well, you know? Because some people, they grow up on weird music and I could see it, I could hear it.
But it's beautiful that you got to grow up with legends. It's not just like, you can't say that for a lot of the music today, unfortunately. But like every single name you named, it's like legendary.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they are queens and kings of music, and they still today, 2025, they're still killing it, even though they may not be making new music.
And it really shapes your standard of what you want to be as an artist. Like if my standard and like my favorite artist was somebody that in my head, I guess I wouldn't consider legendary. I would then ultimately be striving to be said artist instead of a great, you know? So with us, it's like, okay, like we're looking at these Laurens, we're looking at Janet, we're looking at all of these people who perform, who give like artistry. So of course we're going to want to strive to be great, you know? So I think like I'm so thankful that they like grew up and that was what was playing all the time, the Michael Jacksons, the Janet, the this, because it's like I wouldn't have the vision that I have now. We wouldn't know like
it shaped us as a group
like,
as well.
There's so many times people be like, do you want to do this? And I'm like, no, I want to be bigger than that. Like I want to be a legend. I don't want to be like casually on stage and like jeans and a t-shirt, unless it's like jeans and a t-shirt with a whole bunch of shingles and buckles and this and this. Like unless we're really doing it up, like I want to be larger than life. That's the point of it all, you know?
I get that when I look at, you know, I go to your Spotify, I go to your Apple Music, I go to your Instagram. Like, I get, you know, RYBE is not just music, it's a vibe. Like, I get that from that whole, from the outfits, from everything. How important is that aspect to the creative process of, like, releasing the music? Do you feel like that you think about it whenever you're releasing or writing a track and you're, like, thinking about, okay, well, this goes with this kind of outfit, this kind of look, this kind of style?
Everything goes together. I think even the moment we have a thought about a song, you're thinking of what can we do to this? What kind of choreography can go to this? What kind of outfits can we have to this? Everything goes together. And releasing it, photo shoots, everything, we have to have a clear vision of what we want because we want it to show up, you know? Exactly.
I think the hardest part is being at the ground level of it all and being like, okay, so all of this that you've envisioned has so much budget involved, you know what I mean? So how can we do this in a way where we're at the street level of it all, which is what we're trying to do with like Hot and like this version of RYBE. It's like you get in on the ground floor, you know? You have to start somewhere to go into your, I always say, the black leather outfit era of your career. You can't start there, you know what I mean? So we're trying to do the street level vision of it all in a way that's still also authentic to us and also like legendary to us, you know?
Of course. Now let's talk about Hot, because like I said earlier, that single is just stuck in my head and it's just so easy to listen to and put on repeat all over again. You know, with this creative process, like, did you guys collectively know you were writing this track? Was this one of those tracks that just kind of naturally happened as you were writing music? Like, what was that process like?
This started with a verse of mine. I wrote a verse, and then our producer Poe was like, that is, you shouldn't just put that on Instagram, you know? Because sometimes I'll write something, throw it on Instagram, call it a day, just because I'm like, oh, I feel like rapping. It's just gonna live there, you know? And she was like, no, let's do something. So she took like raw vocals, you know? I had like on a click track, so it's like on time, and then just produced the life out of a beat behind it. And I was like, she sent to me, I was like, wait a minute, why is this kind of goes? And then she went into the studio. I think I wasn't even there that first day.
You were still in Korea.
Yeah, I was in Korea. She went to the studio with Cameo Adele. She's written for us as well. She's in a duo. And Poe. And they kind of figured out what this chorus was gonna like sound like, and they kind of clipped in my really, really hot. And I was like, that's really, really cool, you know? So it was like pieced together. And then there was like, I came back into the studio, and this time we had a writer that we always work with and also vocal producer Prince come in, and he was like, well, what if we do this back and forth thing with the bridge? So it was a little bit of everybody like joining in of like people that we absolutely love. Some happen to be family, which is so cool. I really credit Poe too. Like her production on it was what really made it hot, you know? Like it was something that made me like, oh, like this is cool. I like this one. And it like quickly just skyrocketed to like one of our favorite songs. And I was like, you know what? This is going to be the first song out because I want it to be the ground level of like it's your introduction.
Yeah.
You know, what are they? Hot.
Yeah,
Like, what is the sound? Hot.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like that's
Exactly.
what it is. But it was a piece together experience that was cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole story.
But
That's all.
as far as vocals though, how did you bounce off of like her cadences and her pockets? Like how do you work around that?
I think we listen to what she's talking about and then kind of work from there. I don't really have to focus too much on the cadence that she does, because what I'm going to do is going to probably be completely different.
More melodic.
Yeah, more melodic and just a little bit different. But as long as we have what we're talking about, then we can kind of work off of that and just build off of that. So that's what we were able to do. And then created what we did. And I'm like, it was just very high energy, and we just knew that this is going to be a good first one, a good handshake record for everybody, just because it was so energetic and everybody, all ages, could enjoy that type of song.
Yeah.
I also think that she really stepped into a level of like, I think you do good of aggression, but not in your tone. Like the words she'll be saying will be more like straightforward, but your tone is still really, really sweet and pretty. And naturally, I think you sing more in the veins of like the Aliyahs and like this softer melodic thing. But you've really been switching it up for like certain like higher energy RYBE songs, and I think that's also a good fit. I know a lot of Beyonce we reference all the time, and like how Beyonce they'll even write, and she'll write for like her new projects where it's like she's almost singing rap sometimes. So we've really used that as an inspiration when it comes to you in different songs recently.
What would you say that made this new era different?
I would say more so having the control to make it what we want. That's the main difference from what we've ever been doing in the past, is that we have a more clear vision and we have the control to kind of build our own world. That's what I think is very different.
Yeah, and if you scroll online and you see old videos of us in 2015, you don't know that girl.
Yes,
I don't know that girl. That's not me. Just know we've lived a lot of eras. I always say that we're like a cat. There's a lot of lives we've lived, you know? And I think this one is my favorite. Yeah, I think the control element is like really, really cool when you just can really curate your own sound and you have like creative control of everything you want to do. Like I think that is so important for artists, because your brain and everything that you create will never be duplicated because it's authentically you. And there's an audience for everything. So if you're creating something you think somebody's not going to listen to it, there's an audience for
someone
everything.
out there. Definitely. I know location is very important when it comes to creating music and being inspired. Since you've been back and forth in Korea, would you say that that has kind of inspired you in any way to kind of try things differently, record differently, maybe think about or listen to different music that you're used to listening to?
Yeah, I feel like I listen to like a little bit of everything. There's not any time that I'm like, no. Like some people be like, no country. And I'm like, why? Country has a lot of great stuff, you know, so much inspiration. I think just traveling anywhere in the world, you're like exposed to so many new things, new cultural elements, new music, new like sometimes instruments, everything that you just want to be immersed in it more. You know, a lot of times when I'm in Korea, I just think like, wow, there's so many like places I would love to perform out here and like engage in different ways with different fans. But yeah, there's like, I would love to incorporate as many elements from different places and cultures as possible if we do it the right way with, you know, people that have actually ushered in those sounds that are authentic to their communities. But yeah, you know, I was listening to a lot of K-pop. I met a lot of the K-pop girlies out there. Some of like them are like, we've had some people in the show that have worked on like K-pop music and stuff like that, and having conversations with them is really, really cool in their processes. Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I think it's really cool. I'm a big fan.
Would you say that it's like something that could eventually have you try different sounds with the music as well? Like maybe something more K-pop influence or something along that range?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think there's so many different like sounds from so many different places. Brazilian sounds, like Brazilian funk is eating down. Collabing with, you know, I always say the K-pop girlies because I'm big on women, collabing with women and stuff. I would love that. I don't think we're really opposed to anything. I think as long as it merges, as it fits, then I'm like, why not? Like, that's cool. Why not?
Yeah, music is so expansive. Like we can do go anywhere, do anything as long as
Yeah.
it fits, you know?
Yeah.
Ryan, during the process of creating this track and even releasing it, like, what would you say that you learned about yourself, whether it was like vocally or just like as a songwriter, as an artist, that you weren't really aware of or maybe confident about before?
With this process, I think I've learned the most that I'm capable of doing what I think I can, you know, because I think, especially in our group before, there was a lot of, you know, pushback for certain things that we wanted to do, or making us do certain things that didn't particularly fit with what we wanted to do. Me in general, sing the way I didn't want to sing. So now I feel like I'm more capable of what I think I can do, because now I have the means to do it.
Yeah.
And being with Regan, she's always been pushing me to do everything that I think I can do, and is very supportive. And our producers are very supportive, so I think that's like the main thing I learned this go around.
Yeah. It's so crazy because, like, to me, to so many people we work with, like, she's a beast in so many different, like, avenues.
She's like your biggest
I
cheerleader.
know, oh my God.
I think she's so talented. She's a beast in so many different avenues, and I think everybody has a really unique relationship with the industry and the industry version of whatever you love. So you love music and you've never swayed on that, but the industry itself is something that's like this big bad wolf, you know? And for me, I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm meant to be here. I'm meant to do this. No one can stop me. For her, it's a little bit more like cautious, you know? And seeing you become more comfortable of like, oh no, I am meant to be here. No, it doesn't matter about what these people say in this world. Like, this is what I love to do, and I'm gonna do it regardless. You know, that's been a really cool thing to see in you, and seeing that comfort. It was never about the music per se. It was about the industry around it and finding your voice in that. And I think that you have, and I also think the way that you go about it is another really inspiring thing, because you hear so many stories of people like, I've known I wanted this since I was 2. I am one of those people. I knew I wanted this since I was 2.
Literally.
Yours is like, I knew I wanted this, but there was this, and this in the way where I was unsure. And I think that is a very realistic thing, you know, because it's not all flowers and daisies. It's not. It's rough, you know.
You'll have your little rough patches that here and there, for sure.
But the talent speaks for itself.
It definitely does. And I'm glad you kept going. I'm glad that, like, whatever issues happened in the past didn't derail you from pursuing this music and singing and just wanting to be in the spotlight. So
Me too.
I'm excited for both of you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I guess before we close, like, what's next? What can fans look forward to as far as RYBE?
So much stuff. There's gonna be a hot music video coming out soon. Really, really hot with some choreography. And honestly, this was like the beginning of everything actually starting to flow out. So like, we're excited for our next song to come after the music video.
Okay.
Let that sit a little bit. And then we already have like the next one ready that we're gonna do. So I'm excited to kind of get into that world as well, because it's a little bit different, but a little bit the same, but fun.
If you love this sound,
it's rhythm and vibe.
If you love this sound, we still got the energy, so you'll like the next one.
Yeah.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me. You guys be sure to check out RYBE new music, new single, Hot, is out now. And thanks for watching on Front Row Live.